Hey, this is Caleb Pike with DSLR and today I'm going to show you guys what I use for a rig whenever I do any kind of documentary or interview style shoot. It's not the rig for every purpose, but if you're in a situation where you're doing video, audio, and need to control all of those and have that in one place, this is really the rig for you. You'll notice it is a little top heavy, so if you're doing anything where you're panning from the floor all the way up, this may not be right. You could probably get some weights and get things balanced. But well, let's go ahead and jump right in. Start from the bottom, work my way up. I have all this stuff is right now mounted on a Velbin DV7000, and they don't sell this tripod anymore. But a similar one, maybe the Manfrotto 503. Worked with those as well. Both of them are, they're not great for everything, but for this style of shoot where you would be just shooting a person sitting down or some more static stuff, it works really well. And then I have a 7D here. Lens-wise, I'm shooting with a 50 f1.4. This is the Canon lens. And I really like this lens for documentary just because it's you can still use it for stills if you want to whip out the camera and just shoot stills. And it gives you a lot more control over your depth of field as to how deep or shallow you go. So I really like that. On the lens, I have a on the ring here, I'm using a Red Rock Micro lens gear. Now I don't have a follow focus on here, but the reason I use the lens gear is because on some of these still lenses, the ring is very, very sensitive. So for instance, if I want to go from the minimum distance all the way to infinity, it doesn't take a lot to get there. Now that may be fine for stills, but for video, if I'm trying to follow something, it's very, very difficult to stay on target when you barely turn it and you jump a foot or two. So what the ring does is not only give me something to grab onto that's easier to manipulate, but also expands the diameter of the ring itself, which helps a little bit. And then on the front, you'll notice I've done videos on these before, a rubber lens hood, which I can extend here. Instead of having a matte box, and I don't have to have all kinds of rail systems or anything like that, keeping it small, keeping it light. And then on the front of that, I am using the Fader ND from Lightcraft Workshop. And of course, this whole thing can come right off if I'm not needing to use that if I'm indoors, but I always keep that handy. And then I've got the LCD viewfinder on the back here. Using that for fine focus, and I can also just remove it. I have it attached to the tripod, so I can just drop it and let it hang there, and if I need to do focus, I can just stick it right back on and we're back in business. Now up here, everything above the camera is all audio, and at the heart of this is a tri-mount. You can pick this up on Amazon for $22, and I use it a lot for all kinds of different things. One reason I use it obviously is there's 3 mounts it gives you to mount various accessories. Another reason is I'll just use it with the Rode microphone, which I have up here, just the 2 of them. The reason being, when you have the camera and you just mount the Rode microphone directly onto the hot shoe built into the camera, you can't access the optical viewfinder on the camera, which if you're trying to do stills can be a real pain. So what this mount allows you to do is get that up and out of the way. And another feature is you're still able to see the display on the top of the camera. So sometimes I'll just use it with the microphone itself, but as you can see, it's very versatile, and you can add a lot more to it. Again, $22 from Amazon, pretty much a steal, and it's completely metal. I really like that accessory. And then on the very, very top, you're going to notice this is the H4n. This is kind of at the heart of all the audio here. And I'm running audio from the lav through my Sennheiser EW100 G2s. That's just a real stellar audio kit that you can pick up, and you can't go wrong with Sennheiser. And That's just one awesome unit. Never leave the house without it. So I have that on the side here, all the way on the right. You'll notice it right up there. That's going into the H4n, and then I have the Rode video mic going into the camera for reference audio. If a room is small enough that I'm shooting in, I will take this off. Depending on how it sounds, I'll usually record a little bit and see what it sounds like, because sometimes in smaller rooms, you can really get some bad audio with the combination of this microphone and the 70s automatic gain control. So that's something to think about. But if you're outdoors, it's really, really handy, or if you're shooting something that's a little farther away, it's definitely good to have with you, depending on the situation. So that's the top there. And one thing that I really wanted here was speed. And what's great with this tri-mount up here is, let's say I want to do an MOS shot and I don't need all that. I want to pick the camera up and walk around. I can just unplug the Rode microphone, and then there's no other wires attached. I can simply unscrew that bottom little plate and slide the whole shebang off. Now I'm down to just the camera, which is super handy, and a feature I really appreciate with this piece of kit. So again, that's the tri-mount, Rode microphone, H4n, and the receiver for audio. And then attaching the H4n is another cheap but crucial part of the complex here. It is a Marshall ball head hot shoe mount. Now, I've worked with tons of these things and haven't really found one until this one that I've really liked, that felt solid, doesn't feel plasticky and cheap. And this thing is rock solid. Once you get in here and attach it, screw that down there. There we go. And you tighten that little thumb screw, there's no way it comes off. It's just not gonna happen. And another reason I like it is I'm able to adjust the angle that the H4n is at. So if I'm, like I am right now, where I'm actually below it, I can angle it down. I can, if I'm standing above it, angle it up. And just a real versatile little adapter. Again, under $20, I believe it's $19.95 from Amazon or B&H. So that's just another crucial piece of the kit. You can use that for your monitors or anything else, and a great buy. And then to monitor my audio, I'm using a set of Sony MDR V900s. These are always with me, always. When it comes to audio, you just can't fool around. And even if you have the best audio equipment, if you don't have a good pair of headphones, you're in big trouble. I love these because, first of all, they're really comfortable, both on the headband and where your ears go. And that's big. If you're doing longer interviews, it can get very annoying to have pinching or just uncomfortable headphones. So that's a huge feature. But then the other one, and then the biggest one, is just that they block out other sounds. They're not like Bose noise cancellation, so you can still hear what's going on, but it's going to give you a lot more control, and you're not going to miss a thing with these. So that's always with me, and a big part of the kit for interviews. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. I'm going to put links to all this stuff on the blog, DSLRvideoshooter.com. You'll be able to see all that stuff there. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, what you guys are doing for rigs, for interviews, or anything else for that matter, definitely let me know. So we will see you next time.